Yeah, hi everybody, this is Ryan back up here with you again. Today, Tuesday, May 19th, out here at the Petro outside of Toledo, right out off of 280 here. Working on this cabinet load, which has kind of been a nightmare. I know we talked about it, I guess what was it, Saturday was the last video I'd done. So it's been a couple days. I was hoping to get some stuff out sooner than that. But this is a 13 stop cabinet load. I've had 4 stops. I had 4 stops yesterday. Started in Indianapolis, went down by Louisville, Kentucky, back up to Cincinnati, then had one up by Dayton. Then I actually made it back up home, up by Akron yesterday evening. Stayed at home. Then I had to run down to Pittsburgh first thing in the morning for 1 box, and then had to run back up closer to where I live, up by Streetsboro, Ohio. Did a stop there, then they took forever, got me kind of behind, about an hour behind. So then I had to stop up in Solon, Ohio, 40 cabinets. I think that's the biggest stop I had, and nobody was there except for the office lady, so I had to unload 40 cabinets by myself. Still got it done pretty quick, and made it to my last stop of the day up in Willoughby, Ohio. So then my next one's out in South Bend, Indiana. Then we've got 3 up in Michigan, and the last stop, the 13th stop, will be up in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada. Just pretty well right across the border up there. So yeah, it's been kind of a struggle. These are kind of tough when you get the most I've ever done on a cabinet load has been 7 stops. This is the biggest cabinet stop I've ever done, or biggest amount of stops I've ever done on a cabinet load. I've done a furniture load when I was over at Mercer that had 15 stops. Started down in southern Indiana, and it went all the way out to I was up in Washington. Had a bunch of stops all the way across the country. It's 15 stops. 2 of them were at military bases. So it was pretty busy. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to show you guys kind of what's involved. I was going to go back in the trailer, show you guys what one of these loads looks like, and kind of what's involved if you're kind of looking at doing a cabinet load. And because most of these loads are a driver assist, so you've got to pull the cabinets down, and a lot of times some stops they'll actually they'll come in there and help you, but some of them you have to take them to the back of the trailer, and you have to pull them all down. And it can be, if you have 4 or 5 stops in a day, and you're getting and you're going in and out, and like I didn't have time to eat today, with everything. So, but I'm gonna go back and show you what's in the trailer, and kind of show you the paperwork, and then had a couple other things I wanted to talk about from the comments we've had over the last couple days and things like that, and we'll go from there. So the trailer finally quit raining out here. It's been raining all day. Rained all day yesterday. All day driving. Just from Indianapolis all the way down to Louisville, all the way back up, just poured down here all the way up to home, up by Akron. It just rained the whole time. It's kind of nice this morning, and once I got out here, it started raining again. So it is what it is, I guess. But, all right, so when I got this load, it was full. Like I couldn't even put my foot up here to climb up and check on everything. Basically, it was to the back door. It was full. But they've had stuff out of sequence pretty bad. This is for the 2nd to the last stop. That's for the 5th to the last. Actually, my first stop in the morning tomorrow in South Bend is this box, and a little box down there. So the one I had in Pittsburgh was actually, I don't know why they just didn't UPS it, because I think I got like 200 miles extra for that one stop, and then the stop pay and all that. So they could have UPS'd it or something for probably $30 versus paying me probably $300. But you'll get a lot of smaller like trim pieces and stuff in here too with these loads. Then they'll usually have a you get like these little touch-up kits, hardware kits and stuff like that, and they're all marked. This one here, like that number there, is basically what stop, like counting back what stop it's going to be at. So this is what you have, and this stuff will be stacked all the way up to the ceiling. And your job is you have to pull everything down. And some of these they're pretty heavy. I mean, a lot of it's light, but every once in a while you get one that's pretty heavy up there. So it's a lot of work. I mean, especially I mean that one stop where I had the 140 cabinets, it was basically, you know, it was probably 25-30% of the trailer that I had to take down myself. Either that, or I mean, what do? You just, I had other appointments. I can't just sit there. So. But I thought I'd like to show you all. I mean, because at Landstar and I know at Mercer too, there's a lot of cabinet loads, and so I know if you're curious about them, this is kind of what you're getting into. So, like I said, they put sand on the floor when they load these trailers, and it makes it easy so you can slide the boxes to the back of the trailer. So they actually, the hardest part is pulling them down, then you can just shove them to the back of the trailer. So. And this trip hasn't been too bad. I think I've had the one stop over in Streetsboro. They were missing 3 items, but everywhere else has been pretty good. So, and it hasn't been too terrible. I mean, that up front there or in the back has basically been what was out of sequence. So, but that's pretty much what's going on back here and kind of how cabinet loads work. Go back in the truck here and. Got a couple other things I wanted to go over and kind of show you guys the paperwork with this too, what it kind of looks like. Get out of here. And this load actually paid pretty well. I mean, I want to say it was maybe $255, you know, on the rate per mile. And being there's a lot of accessorials, the accessorial pays a little bit higher. So you get a little bit higher percentage. I thought I had a padlock back here. Let's have to get another one out. Don't want any of that stuff walking away tonight. I picked up this trailer down there in Kansas, and the handle's gone, so I don't know who put that piece of, it's like number 9 wire or something. But I'm dropping this trailer. I got another load that I'm going to talk about here in a minute, so I'll be dropping this trailer anyways. So this is basically one of the stops. So you'll have a cover sheet. That'd be the first page. That'd be the sign page for you. This is their copy. Then you just got a kind of little bit of like a manifest here that has what they're getting, and each stop has their own for that. But like I said, this had 13 stops. All right, so on the outside you'll have a total manifest that have all the stops. That'll tell you how many cabinets are at each stop, and there'll be little stuff too. That stuff's no big deal. The cabinets are the main thing. But this one had 1, 2, 3 pages in that last stop. It's going. I gotta go, like I said, to Canada. So she's still trying to figure that out, because I guess they don't, for some reason, they don't know who the customs broker is. So I don't know what's going on with that, because I've never had that problem before. So that's basically where we're at with this load right now. I had a search set up for, I wasn't really seeing a lot coming out of northern Michigan. I had like a 500-mile radius search set up, and everything was like, I was kind of looking for something to come back home over the weekend, spend a couple days at home, and then get back out. I mean, I was maybe hoping to find something coming back down to Cleveland, Akron area, or, you know, kind of at a 150-mile radius. But I just wasn't seeing anything, so I set up a search because I was kind of looking at just deadheading back home. So I set up a kind of a West Coast search because this day stuff and all that. Like last week, I had that ice cream cone load that had 5 stops, driving every day, and I'm not a day driver. And this one here has kind of been the same thing, but even, you know, twice as many, well, 2.5 times the stops basically. But it's like I said, we got 8 down, 4 tomorrow, then the last one there in Canada. But like I said, I wasn't seeing a lot, so I went ahead and set up a West Coast search, and I wasn't seeing a lot yesterday, but a lot of loads started popping up today. This morning there was one out of Upper Sandusky to a customer that I've worked with before. It's one of our direct shipper accounts. It's a preloaded trailer. It came on the board, I believe, for $255. I got one stop out in Illinois next week on the 26th. But the good thing is I can pick it up on my way back down from Michigan, so I can kind of grab it up, go back home, then I can start fresh and leave, probably leave out Monday night, and that has a delivery out in Illinois at 9 a.m. Tuesday morning. I guess it's 26th, 27th, 26th. And then the last stop's out in Twin Falls, Idaho on the 29th, so it's not too far. I mean, I can drive down to Salt Lake City or kind of see what's going on up in the area. So I got that locked down. I think I don't think that'd cancel. They're usually, this agent's pretty good customer. And so that should be loaded Friday. So after I finish up in Canada, I'm going to drive down to Upper Sandusky, grab that load up and go home. And get back on the road next Monday, hopefully. So get some more stuff done at home. I wanted to do a video on the PDI. I know a lot of people have been talking about that, asking about it. My phone camera, for some reason, it like does this weird like flashing thing. So it like pulses it for some reason. So I don't know if the lens is in my phone camera or what. But when I get home this weekend, I'll try to use my wife, one of her expensive cameras. We'll try to do something with that and get that out to you. I just did an update on it because I found out to hook it up to the Wi-Fi on your phone, you have to switch your phone to the 2.4 gigahertz instead of the 5 gigahertz because it won't, for some reason, it won't connect. So I haven't updated it for like a year or something. So, but we'll get something out on that as well, hopefully this weekend. And if the weather's good, we got some farming stuff to do, so maybe do something on that as well. There's a couple other comments we've gotten on the channel. One I wanted to hit on. I wanted to do a kind of whole another video on this topic, but I just wanted to kind of, in short, kind of give a short summary. A lot of people ask, like, oh, why don't you get your own authority? Why, and my dad did that for a while, a couple years, and kind of from his experience, I really haven't been, I mean, at the point where I'm at in my trucking career, where I'm at now, as if you've watched our introduction video, I'm kind of, I got a 3-year-old and a 3-month-old right now. My wife has a pretty good job, so the reason I'm out here doing this is pretty much, this is, it's hard to make the amount of money that we can make out here. So basically, you can come out here and make $3,000 or $4,000 in a week, and paying stuff off, paying property off and stuff like that. So it's been a big advantage to be able to do this, but there's a big sacrifice being away from home, and so we basically came to an agreement. Right now we're going to make the sacrifice, do what we got to do, pay everything off, and then I plan on kind of doing a farm business full time, a market. We're going to put up a market at the house and all that at the farm, and so it just doesn't. And the main thing is, like, we kind of depend on my wife's parents to help us with our children right now, and they've got some health issues and things like that. So down the line, that might not be very dependable option for us, and we're not really into the whole daycare scene thing. We're not really interested in doing that, so it just makes more sense for me to do some type of home type business, and be home with our 2 boys. And there's things that I want to teach them and be around them, and I mean, even with our 3-year-old now, it's hard because I've pretty much been on the road ever since he was born, and he's starting at the age where he knows things and what's going on, and somebody needs to be teaching him things. And so I've kind of got a deadline. I want to be finished with this the end of next year. So basically I got about 1.5 years left to accomplish what I want to accomplish, and I think that's possible. But kind of back to the authority thing. My dad was into it. I'm not, like I said, I'm not interested. I'd have to buy my own trailer. I'm not interested in investing in a trailer. Yeah, everybody says you can get higher rates, but your costs are so much higher. I mean, right now I can basically, if I want to take a month off, other than my truck payment, it would cost me $600. I mean, versus if I had my own authority, you know, my dad was paying a couple years ago. I think he came over to Landstar in 2018 when he gave us his authority. He was paying 10 grand a year just for insurance. And then you don't get any fuel. I mean, fuel discounts are non-existent. I mean, I think he had the GB Hunt 360 fuel card. I mean, I think they're giving 25 cents. I mean, at Landstar right now, at TA and Petro, our discount is like, some places it's over $1 off. I mean, I'm on average across the country, I mean, I'm paying $1.50 a gallon basically. And fuel is, you know, other than your truck payment, I mean, depending on what your truck payment is, I mean, fuel is pretty much your biggest expense. Mine's, with my current mileage and all that, I mean, in current price, I mean, I'm, you know, right about 27, you know, under 30 cents or so. So I mean, and that's what the discount, I mean, basically. So I mean, if I was paying full price, we're only getting a couple cents off. I mean, that's a lot more per mile. So everybody talks like, oh, I can get $3 a mile and all this, but you're paying a huge amount for insurance because you're not in a pool, like with somebody under Landstar or Mercer or whoever you're with. I mean, you get a lot better rates when you've got 2,000 trucks or 10,000 trucks. You don't get any tire discounts. I mean, not even the big discounts. So there's just, for me, even if I wouldn't get out, I mean, there's times I like to take time off. We had to go, you know, go on a vacation, or if I've got farm stuff to do, anything, you know, if I want to take, or if we had a problem with my wife's parents that, you know, couldn't watch the kids. I mean, if with a truck payment, then, you know, if I had, I was talking to a guy on the comments board, and he said his cost as I mean, his insurance, I think he was, I mean, everything, it was like $2 grand. I mean, the costs are like $2 grand a month, not even counting his truck payment. So I mean, it'd be real easy to get to $4,000 or $5,000 a month, basically. So yeah, you're getting a lot higher rates, but your costs are that much higher. So I mean, you might be a little bit ahead that way. But and the other thing too is, another problem my dad had. He was working with Coyote, Uber Freight, a couple other ones, but I know Uber Freight paid pretty well, I guess. But like Coyote and some of these other places, I haven't dealt with them, you know, and it's been a couple of years. So maybe if somebody knows something, they can go and, you know, put that information out. But some of these places, they don't pay you for 30 days, 60 days. So it ain't like you're getting paid every week. Or I know like at Mercer, you got paid like usually the next day after the load. That was one of the things I really liked about Mercer. Here at Landstar, we get paid weekly. You have a payday and you have a cutoff, and if you get your paperwork in, I mean, even sometimes after the cutoff, the next day, if I had it in, they're usually pretty good about paying you. So those are some of the things to look at, and I wanted to do another, you know, video on that, kind of more in depth, and maybe at home with the whiteboard and look at some costs and things like that. The other thing I got kind of coming down the line, I have a lot of people, I don't typically do 34-hour restarts on the road, because I kind of manage my time a little bit different and speed and all that. And I'm going to kind of do a two-part video, one here in the truck. I was going to go over the OmniTrax IVG and talk about how recaps and everything work, and how you can run on those recaps and not do 34 hours. And I'll show you how much a 34-hour restart actually costs you if you do one on the road. So I prefer take my time off when I'm at home with the family, and you know, it's not a big deal. I don't want to, I'm not here to make money. I'm not out here to sit in a truck stop for a day and a half or 2 days. Unless I'm waiting for a really good load, or I'm waiting to deliver somewhere, is about the only time I do that. So the first part I'm going to do in the truck on that is I'm going to show you guys everything in the IVG, the one you get at Landstar. And yeah, if somebody asked before, the IVG that we buy here, it's $800. Actually, I got this, I sold my original one, then when I went over to Mercer, I got this one over there, and it was only $550 through Mercer. So I actually brought this one from Mercer, and they gave me a receipt and release and all that, and brought it back on over here to Landstar. But so I'm going to show you how that all works. And like I said, you can, if you decide to leave, that's yours. If you paid for it, you can take it wherever to another carrier. Like if you want to go from Landstar to Mercer, you can take it over there. Just make sure you call El Cap, and they'll give you a release and all that. But so I'm gonna do one portion of this in the truck on the IVG, then a second portion hopefully this weekend when I'm at home, if everything goes to plan. I'm gonna get on the whiteboard and kind of show you some cost and time and speed and all those variables that I think help me do what I do. And So hopefully I'll get that out to you guys this weekend if everything goes to plan. So again, sorry I got a little bit long on this. Kind of had wanted to do a little bit, wanted to show you all how a cabinet load works, and I had a couple of those updates, you know, with the authority thing and the time management aspect that we're going to be going over. But thanks for watching. We appreciate the support, comments, like the video, and subscribe, and we'll keep putting more out. So thanks for watching.